All right, today I'm here with Stosh, and we are talking about a topic that I have been wanting to talk about for a very long time on this show, and it's just something of coastal restoration. So this is it is literally the foundation that the city is built on, right? Coastal, the coast. So we're going to talk to Stosh about coastal restoration right now. Stosh, thank you. Okay, help me out with your last name.
Kozlowaki.
Kozlowaki.
Yeah.
That sounds like a deli.
It's Polish. Yeah. My dad's Polish, and I got the authentic name.
You don't normally hear that's not a big New Orleans name. So
no.
Where are you?
Originally from Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo, New York.
Yeah, kind of a New York State resident as a whole. My father's from Albany. Then they lived in New York City, and I've spent time around the whole entire state, Northeast mostly.
And so okay. So we're talking about coastal restoration.
Yeah,
you're passionate about that, which is even interesting because people from here, we kind of go about our day, and that we know the coast is a problem, sort of, but we don't realize that it's as big of a problem as it is. So it's great to see somebody from you that's not from here and that's noticing it.
Well, I take an interest in it. There's actually an article in the New York Times back in 2012. By the author was Nathaniel Rich.
Okay.
It was entitled "The Most Ambitious Lawsuit Ever." It talks about John Barry and how the nonprofits are waging a lawsuit.
Okay, I'll link that.
Okay.
Send it to me because I want to read it.
Okay. It talks about how the advocacy groups are waging a lawsuit against the oil companies for not replacing or replenishing the coast as they drill. So apparently we're losing about a football field a day, is what I understand.
Yeah.
In coast in marshlands.
That's definitely the thing I've heard. The statistic that I've heard thrown out.
Right. So we don't see it here, but as you go down to Lafitte National Park, you start to look over the horizon and see these things missing.
And you see it coming. You see the coastline's getting a whole lot closer.
Venice is gone, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of the country doesn't know about this, and being a person who's not from Louisiana, my wife is. That's why we're here. I have an adoration for my newfound home, and I think that the American economy depends on Louisiana, and I think a lot of people don't understand that. So maybe a little bit of awareness outside of the state, perhaps with my friends and with my acquaintances and my circle may
pull it.
Yeah, may offer a little more, monetary.
No, it's fantastic. And for this show, the number one episode that I've been wanting to do is a coastal restoration episode, because while, say, the next episode I have coming out is about our francophone, our French culture.
Oh, great.
I've gotten we've had episodes, if you look back through, our New Orleans music, New Orleans businesses, the cemeteries, all of these things, Schwagman's, all of these things that really, make New Orleans what it is. But the reason why coastal restoration sits at the top of my list is because we can have the greatest schools, we can have the greatest, whatever, but if we don't have if our land is and whether or not, there's a whole, global warming and all that, but we know the sea level is rising. It's not up for debate whether that's happening. So, but that's bad for us, no matter whether it's natural or human-made.
Will we have a city to complain about our utilities? Will we have politicians to complain about? Your name is Coast Roast Coffee, for crying out loud.
Yeah, it's true. If we're not, there is no coast.
That's
true.
Roast.
It'd just be roast. It's true. Without the coast, it's just coffee, I suppose.
So
so to raise awareness, you're doing a bike ride.
Yeah, I'm doing a bicycle tour from New Orleans up to Nashville, Tennessee. From New Orleans to Natchez, Mississippi to Nashville, Tennessee on the Natchez Trace. The
Natchez Trace is beautiful. I've been up there.
Yeah.
I've ridden my bike on the Natchez Trace. I'm not that ambitious, that seems. But I've driven the Natchez Trace, and it really is cool. I love the Natchez Trace. It's beautiful. If you've never been up there,
majestic.
It's really, really nice. And on the bike, it must be.
We'll see. Awesome. Yeah, we'll see. I'll be cursing the world as I'm going uphill. But Micah Martello from Fed Outfit Restaurants,
sponsoring you.
He's sponsoring me. He said, well, if you're going to do it, so I'm not doing anything that thousands of other people haven't done.
Right.
It's not like I'm climbing Mount Everest or thousands of people done that too. But aside from that, the fact that I'm doing it with a mission on my back, and someone to help me pay for this exploration is what I'm proud of. So Mike Martello is endorsing me, and he obviously has an affinity for the coast because he's from Baton Rouge originally. So why not?
Yeah, and so
if message is aligned.
So if you want to, if anyone watching also wants to sponsor this, it's the you're giving all the money you raise, you're giving to the CRCL.
Yeah, Coastal Restoration for Coastal Louisiana.
CRCL.org. CRCL.org. I'll have that link down below as well, and you can donate for your trip as well. So that's great. And then you'll be able to, obviously you'll be posting pictures and stuff online, and posting pictures and stuff online, I guess.
Yeah, I will. I'm going to be, Fet Out Fet is going to have an Instagram where they'll be posting pictures. I'll be posting my pictures on Stosh Alex, at Stosh Alex.
Okay.
But
we'll put that.
Yeah, if you want to follow.
Yeah, follow the trip along.
Yeah. But just to correct, any money that you donate to CRCL will not be going towards my trip. It'll be going towards CRCL.
So we're going to put the link direct.
Yeah.
You're going to their website. You're giving 100% to them.
Correct.
You're out of it besides your bike ride trip.
Yeah, right. So there's no money in for me. I'm not interested.
And so it's great because what you're saying is like, as you're doing this online, posting pictures and that, and people here are following you, but your friends from around the country will also be seeing that.
Right, yeah. I have a lot of friends in California, New York, and on the coast as a whole, in Europe as well, and everyone has a love for New Orleans. Everybody thinks they understand what New Orleans is, and that means something to everybody else. New Orleans means something different to everybody and then every individual, which is wonderful.
Yes,
but without the coast, we're not going to have the city. So hopefully their affinity for New Orleans can translate into a sense of urgency for Louisiana and a sense of urgency for the country as a whole as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
It's a linchpin.
Yeah, there's a lot going on right now. We have in the world, and there's a lot to consider. There's a lot to think about. But
there's trouble everywhere.
Yeah, and
this is the basis of the city. I mean, we know we can't levy our way out of this problem.
Right.
We've got to rebuild the coast.
Part of the problem.
It's a huge thing. Right. And so, and you just the Natchez Trace is.
The Natchez Trace is close to home.
You've driven up it?
No, I have not, as a matter of fact. So I'm in for a surprise.
Been.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I've been through the area, of course, going back and forth.
Let me tell you my favorite. I'll tell you my favorite part about the Natchez Trace because I've driven it up. I've driven back and forth several times, maybe a dozen times. I've been up it quite a few times, and it's a great drive. And there's stops along the way. And what the whole thing is, it's a journey. It's how people traveled between Natchez and Nashville prior to the interstate system or anything else in town. Or any other travel. They'd come down the river.
It's an old trail. It's a native trail as well.
Oh, it's an ancient buffalo trail even before that. So it's like ridiculous. And the trail in some spots it's like a foot deep down. I've got some pictures. I'll show you. Like because of the foot traffic, it has worn paths that are like 20 feet deep of ridges. Yeah, I'll send you some pictures.
All right, please do.
It's really cool, and it's amazing. It's amazing to see how many people walked this path before you.
Yeah.
Really think about that. But then along the way there are stops, and this was a watering hole, or this was a place that people opened inns along the way that you could stop and stay. Because this would have been when you say it's this is like the interstate system, right? There's exits, there's ways to refuel your canteens and all, and it's really so how are you? When you tent camping? How the inns don't exist anymore. Some of them are still there physically, but they're like museums.
Oh, really? Okay.
So there's nowhere to stay. So how are you?
I'm going to camp. Yeah, I'm going to camp. I have a hammock, a camping hammock. So I need to find 2 trees wherever I go, which I don't think should be too hard.
There's plenty of trees.
Okay, and it's got a bug net and it has a tarp over top of it. So it's an Eno hammock. So I used to camp a lot, not a long time ago, but maybe 10 years ago I used to camp a lot. But so I'm not a stranger.
And you're bringing all your food and everything with you?
Yeah.
Because the Trace, it takes when you get off the Trace, you can find a town, but there ain't too many towns.
Yeah,
so it's a pretty good distance.
There's probably a Walmart here or there, right?
Not really.
Oh, really?
Look, some of that space up there in between, say, between Jackson and Tupelo, man, ain't nothing between Jackson and Tupelo.
Sounds,
And I don't have to. I can say that on camera because
There's nothing there.
There's nothing there. There's nobody. There's nobody there watching this from there that's going to get offended. It's nothing. You know. So
Yeah.
You got to like bring your stuff with you.
I've been through it, so I understand. It's interesting. Coming from New York State, I spent a lot of time in New York City my whole entire life, and Broadway was built in a similar light. It was an old trail. The American Indians used to use to get down to the bottom into the top of Manhattan, and when the Dutch came, they sort of built this roadway along with it.
And so you're doing this by yourself. You're leaving here in New Orleans on a bike. You're heading up to Nashville.
Yeah, man.
What, next year are you going to do this?
I'm looking to make this an annual thing.
So I can ride with you next year?
Do you want to come next year?
Maybe. I don't know. Bike. I love to trace. As you've seen, I do like to trace.
Yeah. A little bit of shape. Well, you have plenty of coffee, so you can get through.
I can bring I don't know if I do love bike riding. I do, I love all that. But maybe.
All right, we'll talk about it.
But people that can, got a whole year. We got a whole year, and so they can. If someone.
Yes, if you're interested in coming next year, if you want to do it again. I'm trying to make this an annual thing, maybe in May as opposed to June, earlier May. But I have some friends that are interested for next year. That we're going to start planning.
And that's great because if I go, you go, everybody goes, you start posting.
Yeah.
We can get a whole lot more.
Micah has to finance all of it though.
Oh, Micah, come on. He's got a line down there right now. Look, you're looking at people buying the biscuits and everything. He can
pay for them.
He can pay for us all to go.
So
I need a new bike too, Micah. So
yeah, hit him up. But he's going to do the shirts, and so maybe we can hit him up next year for more funding. So
it'd be fun. Have a safe ride. Be very careful. Enjoy the trip, and just know, the coast is this important. It's beyond. It's the ground that we
alluvial soil.
That's the official term.
Yeah.
It's where without the coast we don't have a city.
Yeah.
We don't have
an economy.
We don't have an economy. We got nothing. So we need to really put our focus there. So take a look at the links below and follow Stosh's ride.
Huh?
Head out, man.
Thanks so much. Cheers.
See you later.